Good morning, my dear subscribers. You're welcome to Sunlight Grant channel, where we give you the latest of the UAAG disbursement funding. In case you're new on my channel, please don't forget to click on the notification bell and subscribe. In case we drop new videos, you'll be highly updated. Thank you.
Have a beautiful Wednesday morning, and I want to believe that our expectations according to God's plan and purposes would come to pass. If you believe that with me, say amen. All right, while we are in expectation for the return of the IMF, which information has it that they were in Kenya for disbursement, but then I actually dropped some message yesterday that has to do with the involvement of Kenya within this period, of IMF at Kenya within this period, because of the Nigerian community ecosystem, grant ecosystem, who had been on the waiting list for the past 7-8 years, and within this lead period where they are expected to get some measure of respite and disbursement, the IMF was said to be in Kenya. And the IMF, which is this International Monetary Fund body, they disbursed funds to Kenya last year. Precisely on October 30th last year, the IMF Executive Board approved the 7th and 8th reviews under the Extended Fund Facility and also Extended Credit Facility arrangements, as well as a review under the Resilience and Sustainability Facility arrangement. The approval enabled a combined disbursement of approximately $606 million for the support of Kenya's efforts in rebuilding fiscal and external buffers, including enhancing resilience to climate shocks. This was what was granted to Kenya in October last year. So, as for this year, the involvement of IMF program with Kenya is set to expire in April 2025. And in February, this is March, in February 2025, the Finance Minister, John Mbadi, also announced that Kenya had begun some discussions with the IMF to secure a new lending program to replace their current one. And the essence of that was to ensure that there is continued economic support amidst rising debt servicing cost and the abandonment of planned tasks, which increases due to the recent protest within that particular country. And then additionally, the IMF mission also at Kenya was expected to they were expected to visit Kenya in early 2025. Precisely, we are still in the early of this 2025, and the essence was to conduct an in-depth assessment of how corruption is affecting the nation's public finances. So possibly this is March, we don't know, maybe that could be part of the reasons why they went to Kenya for these particular issues. But my concern stems from the fact that the IMF, which is the International Monetary Fund, who provides financial assistance to member countries based on their individual agreements, and which is tailored to each nation's economic circumstances and policy commitments. The IMF, what happened between IMF and Nigeria as of last year, precisely, in fact, it was for the records concerning Nigeria, the IMF's financial records indicated that Nigeria made several repayments to the IMF last year, which totaled to something around SDR 1.227 billion. So, but as of this year, we have been hearing that they are in the country, and we have not really so much have had any disbursement from them until we heard lately that they've shifted to Kenya for another round of service. So we are still in expectation for their return based on information, but my plea is such that today is the 12th, and within a few days from now, we will be wrapping up March. We just want to get some more details concerning their involvement within the country. Yes, we've appreciated all they have done in trying to ensure that there is a progress in grant disbursement. But I feel like this time that they left could also interfere with some of the questions and agitations in the mind of the people when it comes to the shifting of the goalpost. Then how many posts do we have to shift until these blessings become a reality? How many of these posts have to be shifted within this country until disbursement is made to the masses? That's the cry, that's the question. Nigerians have come to understand some level of terms that whenever you begin to hear of shifting of date, shifting of time, then it's almost like an indication for excuses, especially when it comes to this grant ecosystem and payment, because they've been through this over and over again, and I bet you it's not funny. They've been through this year in, year out, December, mid-year, beginning of the year. A lot agitation was so high in 2023. It's not even as high as it was in 2023 now. You know, that level of then during the Christmas, it was climaxed. It was really at the high standard. So I want to appeal to the authority, Nigerian government, the country director, concerning the plight of the masses. Yes, Kenya is doing well when it comes to disbursement. Almost every year, they get some funding from the IMF, but there's no record that Nigeria got any assistance even last year. Nigeria rather had to pay. Nigeria had to pay to the IMF according to the records. And this is the time that we could possibly feel their impact within the country, and the masses, millions, which are also Nigerian citizens, have enlisted themselves in this grant. So there is no way that IMF will disburse funds to Nigerian ecosystem that it will not influence the economy positively. When that fund is released within the country, every grant subscriber is a Nigerian, and every grant subscriber visits the market. We are not in a different nation or country because we subscribe to grant. We are still Nigerian residents and citizens. So there is no way the release of these funds would not impact positively on the masses. The government is crying of inflation, but now they are part of it. They are part of this fund. Their slots have been, and they are the pioneers there that would even be paid first. You know, saving the last for first and the first for last. And we still have to be patient. But at least let one organ be paid first. I kept saying this, and I know it is true. Once an organ from these 40 years have been paid, the door is going to be swung open for other payments to take their course. I just so believe that. So we are in real expectations for their returning. It's meant to be tomorrow or next, according to the information we got. Tomorrow is Thursday, and next tomorrow is Friday. Then it is expected by the coming week, Monday or Tuesday, or Monday and Tuesday, within the country, the pioneer disbursement is supposed to be flagged off. It is supposed to be. So less than a week now, we should be resting cases on this. But you see, one of the reasons why this message is coming is so that we should position our minds. I think shifting of goalpost is not new anymore within the Grant ecosystem, and I think by now we should be strong. Let me use the word, we should be stronger. We should be stronger than what we were or who we were before. You know, once something had happened to you once or twice, the third time is no more news. It breaks you up for every eventualities. I just want to believe, despite the fact that we are praying and we are trusting in God and we have the confidence that everything is going to work out right, but I want you to position yourself as a person. This is just like an inspiration now coming for you. Position yourself as a person. Whenever something bothers you, whenever something worries you and you've prayed about it, leave the rest for God to take control. You understand? Once it bothers you too much, commit it to God in prayers and leave the rest for God. Because agitations most times would not help. As long as you are not on the inside, as long as you are not part of these decision makers, especially, most importantly, I'm talking to the normal beneficiaries who are most prominent within this Grant ecosystem. They are more in number. Once you pray, leave the rest for God. Because if we say, come next week, and there is an heightened expectation for this disbursement, and come next week, we hear another ill story, to you just shake it off, say, well, one of those things, I'm still believing on that God is going to work to my favor. That, I think, should be the side that you pose towards this. Yes, so that you will not be too much on edge. And like I used to say on this channel, ensure that you get other sources of income. Please get other sources of income so that your major resources will not be totally hinged on this grant. That is when it will bother you the most, especially if you have no other source. But I don't think you had no other source in the first place. For 7 years, if you had no other source, you possibly might have died, or you possibly might have become so wretched. But the fact that you are alive right now, it means that you had other sources. You had other sources. But what do I want you to do? Intensify that other sources that you have. Intensify effort on it. Build it up. And just put this Grant ecosystem as one of your side hustle. Put it as one of your side hustle, so that it is not a major definition of your life. If it does, you would surely get some snap in the gut. So I want you to be strong. Be strong. Before next week comes, be strong. When it arrives, be strong. I just believe that everything is going to be fine. No matter how long it takes, everything will be fine. And you'll be part of this testimony. When it finally happens, we all should celebrate together. It wouldn't matter where IMF was or where they went to. It wouldn't matter whether the country director is not saying anything. It wouldn't matter whether Pastor Anyanwo is not talking. It wouldn't matter whether Pastor Benwago is silent. What matters then is that, when we can trace back where we're coming from, and we can now know what is sitting in our bank account, we can say, yes, we went through it, but it did not consume us. That is when your testimony could be completed. So please, let this not weary you. Let this not bring you down, because God is going to walk through this medium for our favor. We are still in expectation of further updates. And it is said that as long as the country director has not dropped a word, every other information is just by the way. It's just by the way. But then they are needed. They are needed. We need encouragement. I was going through some messages on social media yesterday. Someone was saying, we don't need encouragement. We don't need encouragement. We only need to hear the voice of the county director. But then, I feel we need to be encouraged. You need to be encouraged. You might not need encouragement, but someone else needs encouragement, because our level of involvement and investment within the scheme differs. Encouragement sometimes is just what